5 wide. Presented by Quick Trip's quality gasoline guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
9 to noon, ready to go. We are 5 wide. Billy, Kuhn, Armin. This just into the newsroom. Romeo, my Romeo, confirmed for 10:30 this morning with you boys. Romeo Dobbs.
You better believe it.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
Got that
That's
confirmation.
great. Got them puppies organized, these young guns.
I got that.
Nagler made a great point with us saying, look, the great thing about Love and these receivers is that they're all floating up together. They're all coming together for the next couple of years. I would imagine that's pretty important in the world of football, right?
It's nice when a plan goes according to plan, right? I mean, 5 or 6 weeks ago, I don't know that everybody was showering Brian Gutekunst with flowers for that decision and not having at least somebody there to be a security blanket for Jordan. But it is nice that they all can grow together. Maybe would have liked a layup throw in there, a guy that, you know, consistently could get open for the first 5 or 6 weeks to kind of slow the roll into the young guys. But this is why you did it, and it sure is paying off here 2/3 of the season in.
How about that game last night, Kuhn? It was interesting.
Intoxicating, wasn't it?
It was something.
How many tipped ball interceptions were there? Three tipped interceptions?
Three of Dobbs's 4 picks were tips. And I would like to know your guys' opinions on, do those get charged to his hotel room? Tipped ball INTs.
I can't remember all of them perfectly. I know the one that went straight off of Jordan Addison's hands. That one's definitely on Jordan Addison. Right? Like,
okay, so that's on his room, Bill. What about lineman tips?
Well, the thing is, Dobbs will have to wear that, right? He'll have to wear that on his ESPN stats, on his Pro Football Reference stats, but the coaches will actually put that one on Addison. After games, stats like sacks, stats like interceptions, sometimes even fumbles, they'll go down on another guy within the coaches, and you'll carry that stat around.
Well, you know, it doesn't matter what the coaches think. It matters what people on blogs and Twitter and the fans and the culture thinks. Talk about, you know.
Matters what JT O'Sullivan says about you there to make sure that one's right.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking about Josh Allen a little bit right before, and Orlovsky's saying he's not that bad, and the people, what they're saying about him's out of line.
Takes are outstanding.
Because, like, Josh Allen's had kind of an interesting, or the Bills have had an interesting year, down a little bit, but his take was that Josh Allen hasn't been as bad. So perception is drives a lot of this conversation, and how you perceive certain interceptions is, you know.
Yeah. Josh Allen's greatest sin is that he's not perfect. You know?
Oh, exactly.
And there's this chase for perfection. He's good but flawed. He's outstanding but flawed.
I mean, he's got the second highest completion percentage of his career this year. Depends how you look at it.
Doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't. If you don't win games and bring your team down to win, he's lost a lot of close games.
So last night was great, boys, in the big scheme of things. Yes, the Bears still have the number 1 pick from the Panthers, but their own pick, who knows, by the way, if the Panthers are going to get, you know, are they going to get a charge out of this interim? Who's the interim, by the way? I don't think I even saw that.
Thomas Brown, I believe.
Thomas Brown. Never heard of the guy.
But Jim Caldwell is back a part of the hierarchy as well.
He's offensive
assistant advisor.
Yeah.
So if the interim surge takes effect and they win a couple of games, that hurts the Bears.
Yeah, he's the special teams guy. He's the head coach. Thomas Brown's offensive coordinator. Sorry, they just cleaned fully house.
Everybody,
OC, QB coach, head coach. See ya.
Right. So we can root for a surge to screw the Bears on the Panthers front. They screwed themselves by winning last night. That's good. And the horseshoes came clanging out of the Vikings' asses last night.
Oh yeah,
it was great to watch. Armin, you needed that badly.
Needed it bad.
To see those horseshoes come out.
Wanted it, needed it, had to have it. It looked like the Vikings were going to pull it out again late, and I was like, you got to be. That was good. That's a sound effect.
That's the horseshoes. Horseshoes falling straight out of their asses. Lucky sons of guns. And you and I were texting each other, laughing about it. You were making Cinderella references. I'm like, back to the attic, Cinderella.
Back to the attic. That's great.
Then what happened? TJ Hawkinson.
They started coming back.
You and I were like, okay, we should probably stop texting each other.
We almost jinxed it. It's going to happen again, but they found a way.
Yeah.
I love that back to the attic, though. Yeah, because I kept saying on Twitter, I'm waiting for the clock to strike midnight on the Vikings and Josh Dobbs and everything, because they've kind of had this little run going. And they really did struggle most of the game, obviously. So It was great to
So-
see, obviously, because I'd rather have the Vikings lose than anybody else. But it's great because the Packers are a half game back of the wild card
Yeah.
spot now.
Billy, we're right in the mix. We're at a POF of 49% according to good old New York Times playoff odds for
Okay.
the NFL. It's a 6-for-3 scrum between the Packers and the Seahawks and the Falcons and the Saints and the Vikings.
Really good football teams right there.
Good teams. The
Good
interesting.
teams.
Don't care, Butchie.
He's right.
I
though.
do.
It's a
Come
softball.
on, this is you're playing for the 8th seed in the NBA playoffs, right?
Butch,
Don't
it's a
care.
soft bubble.
Sucks.
It's a soft bubble in the NFC wildcard, Butch. That's okay.
It's the NFL playoffs are a soft bubble, and that's okay. It isn't the way. It's the same way in the NBA. I get it.
But isn't
I
there
understand.
value for a young team like this to make it?
Yeah,
I would say
Especially with the
there's
expectations.
absolutely, Josh.
A playoff spot is huge for this team. You got to remember how we started at the beginning of the year, what everyone was guessing what the records were going to be, and what we were hoping this team would become.
At
Yeah,
this
but-
point,
but I
what's the virtue of not making it? Like, what's the point of not making the playoffs? Of course, you want to make the playoffs.
Right, you're not getting one of the top 5 picks.
You get a top 10. I mean, throw that on in there. You're still like 13th in the draft order at the moment. So, I mean, like, I understand, but I also think we're getting a little bit too far removed from what our preseason expectations were. Oh, we thought they were going to stink. We thought they were going to be terrible.
Mhm.
I remember getting a lot more of, well, they'll be like they were last year, right? I mean, they'll be,
Yeah.
7-10, 8-9. That's right what you're on pace to be.
True.
So as much as we're a little bit more giddy and joyful because it's 3 of 4, you're still right in line pretty much with where you
True.
thought you
Yeah,
would be.
but if I thought they were going to be 7-10, which is what I did think they were going to
Sure.
be, and then they succeed or exceed that, and then go to the playoffs, wouldn't I be excited about that?
You should be.
Wouldn't
I-
they have exceeded those expectations?
Sure.
Yes, but
so that's what I'm saying.
but right. So your expectation, your call was 7-10.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more people that, oh no, I thought they were going to be bad. I thought they, 8-9. That's what they're in right now. If they split the rest of their
They
games,
were
they'll be
calling
8-9. They'll be 7-10.
8-9. They were calling 8-9 bad. They were
Mhm.
calling that bad.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
in fact, that's
Oh, I
not
see.
really bad. Billy, you were one of the few that boldly said 6, and you were looking really good for a while. And then you were offering Heller a buyout on your bet. Now I'm wondering if he's offering you a buyout.
Yeah, he offered me. I think it was $97.89. I think was the.
See, that's
was
not
the
a-
fee
that's not
the
a
other
good
day.
faith
No,
Up
offer.
100?
It's not
up
a good.
100.
Yeah,
I'm
not-
just gonna give him the 100. I'll be okay.
Yeah,
with
it's
it.
not a good
It'll
faith
be all
offer.
good.
You're playing
The
deal or
number's
deal,
6 and
deal
a,
or no
the
deal
number's
right
6
now.
and a half, right?
Yes,
Between you two
6.5
guys.
for
Okay.
us. So
Not a good faith offer.
Laughable deal.
It's
You're
one-
like,
yeah.
come on.
no,
I'm
it's fine.
surprised you didn't offer $97.30.
It's a discount.
$30.
A free shopping bag or something
Not
like
too
that.
much creativity.
But it's not even a
Like that- you
Cyber
like that,
Monday
Josh?
deal.
There we go.
That was good,
Zane.
Jim.
I mean, like if I could get 15%
Cyber
off,
Monday.
then I would be
That's
feeling.
true.
Then I'd be feeling.
Well, it's Giving
like,
Tuesday today. You're good.
Oh, that's
Cyber
fair.
Monday,
Yeah.
but now it's Giving Tuesday.
Oh, that's
I got the Giving Tuesday email from my friends at Carroll University saying, "Listen,
Give it to us.
no gift is
And
too
did
small.
you give? And
No
did you
gift is
give?
too small. Size doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. That was the headline. Size doesn't matter. Whatever you
That
have,
was not the headline.
make sure you send it on in. Oh yeah,
Please
Butch, I'll
don't
forward
tell me
it
that
to
was
you.
the headline of the email
It
from
was
the
outstanding.
university.
That's
It was
good.
outstanding.
That's good e-marketing right there.
I was pumped.
So
dude.
let me get this straight. So Black Friday was Black Friday.
Mhm.
Saturday
Yeah.
was Small Business Saturday.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
What Sunday?
Monday was Cyber
Cyber
Monday.
Day
Monday.
of rest.
Thank you.
Tuesday, today is Giving Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you're supposed to be generous and donate for causes. What's tomorrow?
Why not Wednesday?
Wednesday. Why?
Why not Wednesday?
I made that up. I don't know what it is.
We couldn't
Why
tell.
not Wednesday?
couldn't
Splurge
tell.
on something you
Wow.
don't need.
Pay full price.
Oh, that was Black Friday. That was.
How about wait a
Also
minute?
called
Wait a minute
anything.
Wednesday. Why did I buy this?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wednesday.
Hold up.
Wait a minute Wednesday.
How many specially consumerist days can we create around the holidays?
Top
That's
rope
the
Thursday.
question.
Well, we
Top
only need
shelf.
what?
Top
Four
shelf.
more? Three
Top-
more?
Top shelf Thursday.
to get through the full week. Yeah, we only need 3 more.
right,
We're gonna
Saturdays.
close the
Fire
gap.
sale Friday.
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we got
All
four.
right. Kuhn, can I get a heat check on you as far as the Packers making the playoffs? I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you.
Well, I think there's a very, I mean, you talk about the POF at 49. I think that's right down the line. I mean, if the Packers do what they should do, and there's 2 games that they won't be favored. They probably won't be favored in Minnesota. They're definitely not favored this week. They lose those 2 games, but win the rest, and they're sitting there at 9-8. I think 9-8 gets in. I definitely do. I think 9-8 will find its way into the playoffs, which I think
Soft bubble.
is exceptional. I don't think that that's not an incredible accomplishment by any means. You know, you mentioned at the start of this whole thing, yeah, isn't it beautiful that the young wide receivers and the young quarterback, they're growing into this and they're going to do it together? Yeah, it is. It's exactly why, you know, for weeks we said, hey, this is what it was going to look like with the young team. This is what it was going to look like with youth. And then we heard comments of, well, the youth is not an excuse. And you're not young anymore. It's only 5 games in. Well, here's the facts. The team is still young, still incredibly young, and has a chance to make itself into the playoffs right now, which I think would go a long way for Jordan Love's confidence, a little notch in the belt for a resume saying, hey, first year as a starter, I was able to grind us into the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to do that. And then you take it a step further and you think about what playoff experience means for this year's team going into next year. It would be huge. It would be a huge advantage for that team to be able to play some knockout round football here this year.
All right. I remember after the Denver game, you know, I was wildly optimistic on a Wednesday because I had seen a lot of the all-22s and the smart people that look at them, and I'm like, there's plays to be made out there.
Exactly.
It's just, you know, our puppies are not organized. They're going the wrong ways. And then they went out and laid an egg against Minnesota. And I was like, okay, I should probably back off of all the all-22s and the experts on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But now we're starting to see maybe some of them puppies getting organized and it all coming together, which is exciting.
That's
but
the
the
way I
NFL
felt.
is the ultimate men in black red pen light league where they put it in front of your eyes, go peep, and they wipes out the next week, wipes out everything you've seen before. Am I right about that?
It's a what have you done for me
Absolutely.
lately league, that's for sure. And as quickly as your positivity goes about one team, negativity will creep in really, really quickly.
Well, that's the thing, though. We were losing these close games, Vegas and Denver, and it was like a 1-possession game. And the Packers had like 10 penalties and 15 drop balls. I said, there's plays to be made out there. Like, we're not getting blown out of all these games. Yeah, the Vikings wasn't a great one, but I thought the same thing, Zabe. That was the optimism. I said, if they can get it together, there are wins to be had. And then you look at this schedule, and you look at it like from afar, like it's this beautiful buffet that you're going to eat from. Now, maybe that's a naive way to think because you said every week is different in the NFL.
Yeah.
But when I see Giants, Buccaneers, Panthers, okay, we can do this.
God.
Like you
This
walk
is-
in like,
this is a
I'm eating this whole
December. The December schedule is a dessert tray. Sitting there licking my
yeah.
chops.
Until
looking-
you
And the Vikings with Dobbs were like, hey, we're on a hot streak, and now we got the Bears.
I know.
Let's go.
I know.
No, they're
How'd it work for them?
Maybe they're a sinking ship, the Vikings. You ever think of that?
I'm just saying, don't get confident with this team looking at the end of the schedule.
Look at Armin's raised eyebrows.
I'm
as he
just saying.
turns to Josh. Maybe they're a sinking ship.
Yeah,
Reminds me of
favorite
93, folks. 93
Okay.
Packers. I said 06.
All right, Romeo,
08,
my
93.
Romeo, will join you guys at 10:30. Romeo Dobbs, boys, take it away. 9 to noon is next. Butchie, as always, a pleasure, my friend. Godspeed.
Great
and,
call last
Josh,
night.
great job as always. Nice
Thanks, it was
flannel,
fun.
by the way. Nice flannel. Good call last night. Big win by the Badgers. All right, we'll see everyone tomorrow.